Next, you want to make sure, another thing with free shipping is sometimes if you have the API, the content API, like you could download the YouTube and um, Google Google app on Shopify. I know I'm talking just Shopify, but this is just my bread and butter. This is what I use. If you have that app that's feeding all your information from your Shopify to your Google Merchant Center, make sure that your shipping times are correct. You can look at your your scorecard on Google Merchant Center. You could see the average time, or you could just Google your product. I usually do that, for my clients, where I'm gonna Google the product, and you'll see it on shopping. It'll say receive this item by, today is what, April 13th. It'll say receive this item by April 30th. You know, and if that's not right, if that's not correct, and for a fact somehow that this is when I ship an item, it's one business day, and we do priority mail for everything, 2 to 3 days. Well, especially if you have a flat rate and you're maybe using a particular 2 to 3 priority mail or UPS ground, 5-day UPS ground. I'm not sure how UK Europe does it. I'm only speaking from the US perspective. If you have that, and even in your shipping page on your website, it says, okay, 1-day handling, we use priority mail or UPS ground, 5-day, then just create a manual. Instead of running the content API on your shipping settings, set it to manual and put, okay, the handling cutoff is, I don't know, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, and it takes between 3 to 5 business days. Put that in there, and I guarantee that'll that will decrease the shipping period. So if today, like I said, is April 13th, and it was to say, oh, I'm going to get this product on 4:30, and that that's not right, well, just make it manual, and it's going to be faster. It's going to show up. So if I order something the 13th, there's one business day handling. That's your setting. So technically, if something was ordered on 13, one business day will be the 15. It'll ship 16, and so 2 to 3 priority mail, whatever it may be, or 5-day ground. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that should be arriving between April 22nd to maybe the 23rd. And that's way better than it saying arriving April 30th, right? And sometimes that happens, especially if you're using that content API, because Google is just tracking, I don't even know how they track it, but obviously they're using your Shopify store, and sometimes it's just inaccurate. I've seen that with multiple clients where it's actually delayed. The product and the shipping and handling time is way shorter, and for a fact, I know that it's way shorter, or I could see you have examples. Well, then just do it manually, so you're not reliant on that content API that may be incorrect, and you might be losing sales to competitors right next to you on Google Shopping that's advertising a faster shipping time. So that's it for shipping time. Okay. Next is making sure for the shopping, you're creating a bestseller and themed shopping campaign. That's really important. I like to individualize product IDs. If it's a bestseller, go into your backend, compile that bestseller. It could be 30, 60, 90, year to date. 30, 60 days, 90 days, year to date. I kind of like to look at those 4 different lenses, because, the last 30 days might show you something from your best sellers that a year from ago won't, or a year to date won't, or a 90-day won't. So it's really good to have multiple different parameters of how you look at time and how you look at these best sellers, but make sure that those products are individualized. Make sure those products are individualized, because you already have a catch-all campaign for Performance Max. You have a brand or search campaign that primarily will just go maybe to the homepage. And I know you don't like going to the homepage. That's fine. It's not like people don't don't or can't convert when they're going to the homepage. It's really more so what the search keywords are, right? If it's a generic search keyword and you're going a generic search keyword plus a generic final URL, which is your homepage, well, then you're just not qualifying anyone. But if you have particular search keywords like black maxi dress and your store sells only black maxi dress and you go to the homepage, well, that's still a theme. That's still something that could be qualified. Just make sure that, you're not too broad with the search terms to qualify on search. And I'm jumping on a tangent here. Where is Ryan when you need him to try to get me back on track? But anyway, going back to shopping. For me, individualize the product IDs with the best sellers or a particular theme, and build small. It doesn't have to be 30 products. It could be 5 or 10. Like we said before, you have a small budget here, so you have to really work within the means that you're provided. And if it's only 15 or 25 a day, you have to really be granular. Be granular. And another way to be granular is once you do have these products in, you start seeing traffic. Hopefully you start seeing clicks and conversions. Make sure that you check Google Merchant Center. Especially for shopping, Google Merchant Center is your best friend. You have to look. One thing that I look at the most is on the left-hand side on Google Merchant Center, you could look at performance, and then you could look at competitive visibility. So go to the left side, click performance, and click competitive visibility. Then you'll be able to see businesses with similar visibility. And you'll probably see Amazon or eBay just because they're always advertising, or whatever niche you're in, you'll start seeing your competitors. Make sure you put those URLs with similar visibility in your brand exclusion Performance Max list. So yeah, that's why I believe running all these different types of campaigns together, search, Performance Max, and shopping, is the best way if you have a small budget. Because you could use maybe like shopping. You could use shopping insights to optimize your Performance Max insights. And we already know what search does with Performance Max. If you can optimize your search, your Performance Max will definitely be optimized as well, because they work in tandem with each other regarding the signals. So it's really important. Most of the times I see clients that have small budgets only run one campaign, and you're putting your eggs all in one basket. A lot of times, for me, what I see, that doesn't work, because it's like a Hail Mary. You have one shot. All $30 or all $25 is in one Performance Max campaign, or one search campaign, or one shopping campaign. Granted, it works, but for me, I love to be able to see, okay, this is what we're doing on shopping. This is what we're doing on Performance Max. This is what we're doing on search. How do we create value amongst the 3 different campaigns to synergize off each other, right? To use this data point here, this data point there. You have 3 different levels of attack with a search, Performance Max, and shopping campaign. So a little bit off tangent also, but yeah, that's definitely something that you should look into, is your competitive visibility. Look at the businesses with a similar visibility and exclude those businesses so you don't show up with those businesses that are your competitors on Google Ads on your Performance Max brand exclusion list. Next is prune the bestseller theme list. That's why I have you itemize it, where it's particular product items. You have your particular product, you add it, not just all products. Because if you don't have that, you can't prune your list. You can't take out products that don't get clicks, or maybe it's getting clicks but no conversions. You can't take those out. So make sure that you take that out. Your budget is small. So you have to make sure that you're trying to get to that very baseline, even if it's one product that's continuously selling, or 2 products. You want to get to that point. You don't have the luxury to maybe have 10 or 15 products that you're testing. You want to get to that one baseline point where it's maybe 1 to 4 or 5 products that are doing really well, and that's what you build off of. Next is no display and partners. I've already discussed why in search during our search section. And next is be diligent with your negatives. Being diligent with your negatives in your search term report for a standard shopping campaign is very important because that's all you have. You don't have much to optimize it other than Google Merchant Center. Another way is to make sure you're on top of your negative. Make sure you're creating negative keywords for products that are irrelevant. Maybe it's not part of your offering, or maybe you don't have this particular product in stock, whatever it may be. If you don't have it, don't show up for it on your shopping search terms. Disqualify it, make it negative. Another thing that I would say is just make sure, even though you want to be on top of your negative keywords, you don't want to choke all the traffic out. What does that mean? Let's go back to our example. Sorry, fellas, if this black maxi dress is just not, I'll just tell you. Okay, fellas, if you don't know what a maxi dress is, okay, this is what a maxi dress is. A woman's dress or someone's dress, doesn't have to be a woman anymore, but someone's dress that is long from basically goes to your ankles. All right, midi is usually around your knees, and mini obviously is above your knees. Don't ask me why I know this. One of my clients is in this particular industry. So if you have black maxi dress, that's your goal. You have a wide variety of black maxi dresses on your website. Or maybe you know that you have a particular landing page that's black maxi dress. In the beginning, in Google Shopping, for your search terms, maybe it'll be black dress, or maybe it'll be black mini dress. As long as it's not taking valuable clicks or getting clicked multiple times a day, leave that in. But as soon as you see the word maxi, or maybe like maxi dress, and your goal is black maxi dress, then go ahead and create negative keyword for black mini dress, or the phrase negative keyword with quotes around black dress, because you don't want that particular phrase. You want to make sure that you have the word maxi in there, because that's kind of like the qualifying search term. So yeah, make sure that you're diligent with your negatives, and you have to kind of be that way for something like this. If you have a small shoestring budget for an e-commerce store, just make sure that you're on top of it and run these 3 together and see. I would give it at least 3 months, run it together. I know sometimes it's just not going to work out, but at least you're placing your bets on 3 different campaign types that, in my opinion, together just evens everything out. You're not too heavy on automated. You're not too heavy just on manual. You kind of have the best of both worlds, or the best of all 3 worlds, I guess, since there's search, standard shopping, and performance max. And it works well together. I don't know how many of my clients have this same structure, but it really works. And I've seen it work for my e-commerce clients that have a huge budget, and e-commerce clients that don't have a big budget, that maybe, like I said, has $15 to $25 a day budget. But the biggest key to this is, if you do see traction in any of those areas, PMAX, search, or shopping, understand what the catalyst is and continue to increase that budget, because it's in the name PPC, pay per click. When Google sees you increase that budget, it's like, okay, they want more of the same, and more of the same could mean positive or negative. So hopefully you're increasing that budget when you see more conversions, you see a return on ad spend that is holding consistent, maybe see conversion volume either increasing or holding constant to where you're comfortable at. Increase that budget, because the goal of Google Ads is not to see that limited by budget, and you're running several months and you're getting the campaigns, or you're getting the return that you want, you're not increasing it. I think you're leaving a lot of money on the table for scale there. So that's really important for you to be open to have, okay, this is the return on ad spend that I'm okay with, keeping this certain budget. And this is the return on ad spend that I'm comfortable with, continually increasing the budget. So I think that's really important. But yeah, this is my solo episode of which campaigns should I run for a small budget e-commerce store. I know we're very detailed here, and a lot of this is a nuanced conversation. Some people might disagree on some tactics here, but I think Google Ads is just ever evolving. There's so many ways to skin a cat. There's so many ways to do it, but for me, I only talk about the experience that I know and that I've seen with my clients from a primary perspective. And if you ever want to check me out, I'm at genevillanos.com, and you could take a look there. I'm on Gene Villanos on Instagram, LinkedIn, X, everywhere. And I try to provide as much credibility as possible so that if you hear me talking, you're not just like, who is this guy? Why is he telling me to run a PMAX campaign at $5 a day? Trust me, it'll work. It'll work. You just got to give it time, and just got to continue to optimize and learn more about your product and your offering, learn more about the people that's searching. And that's kind of the jigsaw puzzle of Google Ads. And that's why I love doing Google Ads. It's a challenge to me. If you want to connect, I'm there at genevillanos.com. Again, Ryan has his own website. We'll put it in descriptions. And if you have any questions, email us at the PPC Cave at gmail.com. We're at the PPC Cave on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We do this podcast every Monday. We'll be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and on YouTube. So make sure that you subscribe to us. I see a lot of people out there looking at those reels and you're not subscribed, but you keep looking at them. So I don't know why you just don't subscribe. Okay. So it really helps us, and we appreciate the support, and have a good one. And we will talk to everybody soon.